Hello, this is Winston Cunningham. It is December 22nd in 2025. Being close to Christmas, I would like to talk about the meaning of Christmas using the imagery of the universal language of mind. And I wanted to do an in-depth treatise to this, but when I was looking at it, reading, and I read over it every year just to refamiliarize myself with it. It's such an amazing story that combines evolution with the process of creation and explains it in the language of mind is the picture language. And I learned so much in the process of being exposed to the language of mind. I don't want to spoil it for you. So I'm going to give you a couple of suggestions if you would like a deeper meaning of Christmas. And I can tell you what I got from my experience at the School of Metaphysics, which exposed me to the structure of mind and the language of mind, is that I was able to rise above believing into knowing. And it is the knowing quality that Jesus introduced, because he represents the knowing part of each one of us. So if you want to expand on the story you've always had about Christmas, let me suggest that you get a copy of Dr. Daniel Condren's book, Universal Language of Mind, Matthew Interpreted. And he goes into all the details. And when I started reading things, I said, no, I don't want to do that. I want to each person needs to have their own experience of coming to understand these things. And Dr. Daniel Condren, a big part of this lifetime is him sharing what he knows about language of mind, which is vast. And he has interpreted so many different scriptures, and all of the major scriptures in the world are saying the same thing. There's no competition where these things are concerned, like is commonly believed. See, I'm above believing, and so I know that what is commonly referred to as religion is nothing more or less than culture which introduced that particular way of believing. This is all. The real story is much deeper, and all the major scriptures tell the same story. So do yourself a favor, if it is that now, if you're set on continuing to fill out this lifetime with belief only, that's a choice, and I respect that your choice. But belief was not enough for me. I grew up in church, and I witnessed all of the stuff that normally goes on, especially at Christmas time and everything. And there's a lot of good emotions that come through Christmas, and it's a good time, and there's a lot of good things in it. But there's so much more to be gained from this idea about the birth of Jesus than has been talked about in churches. It requires, in my mind, I didn't understand the scriptures until I was introduced to the language of mind. Then I began to see pictures, which was the original intention of the writing. But at the time of the writing, not enough people were awake enough to understand that. So Jesus spoke in parables so they would at least get something. And what the little something they've got is still what religions say is all there is. But Jesus was teaching his disciples a little on a deeper level because they were disciplined and they understood, they were capable of understanding, and anybody is capable, but you have to hone those capabilities. If you watch a Sunday football game and you see somebody do something fantastic and you say, oh, I can do that. Well, yes, you have the capability of doing that. But to hone that capability into being able to play in that on that stage, it's going to take a little work. And that's what I'm talking about. Use more of your capabilities to understand what it is that you may want to know that's has not been presented yet. And all I'm doing here today is presenting you with the opportunity. And you have to say yes to it. You don't have to, but you can. But if you want to know the real or the meaning of Christmas that will be much more relevant to you than what you may have been exposed to, is read Dr. Daniel Condren's book on Universal Language of Mind, Matthew Interpreted. He goes through all of the lineage that led up to Jesus. He goes through all of the different mutations. And every time we go through a big change, we are mutating. We are adapting to something new. We're a result of mutation. Isn't that neat? I appreciate Dr. Daniel Condren's book, and also Barbara Condren and many others at the School of Metaphysics are writing on these subjects and using the universal language of mind. This is what is taught at the School of Metaphysics, and that's why I wound up there, because I had to have it. But I didn't have it until I said, I will have it. And Jesus told you that a long time ago. He told you a lot of things that you haven't heard yet because it's been interpreted. His words have been twisted before they hit your ears. So allow some new information to come in. You can control that. That's why I don't like background music. I don't like the noise and everything. I want to control what comes into here. I want to control that, and you control what comes into you. So this goes back to one of my key talks that I did here was on the question. And Jesus clarified, the truth will set you free. And the way you begin to find that truth is through your own experience. And the way you gain that experience is by asking the question. Jesus said, you want to know something? You ask. If you're serious about it, your own soul will guide you to the answer. I know that from experience over the last 40 years. I know that. This is not a belief. I just wanted to suggest at this Christmas time, if you want to give yourself the best Christmas present possible, then order you a used copy is fine. Order you a copy of The Universal Language of Mind by Daniel R. Condren, SOM Publishing. And if you have trouble finding it, you can go to any bookstore and ask them to order it for you. But give yourself this gift. And Language of Mind will show you how to see in pictures. And the picture is the key thing. I'm Winston Cunningham. Merry Christmas.